Hello and welcome back to Sharmila English class. A very good evening to all of you, all the children. A very good evening. Anyway, last class we did comparison, degrees of comparison. Children, today let me start with articles. You all might be acquainted with the three little words a and the. A and the. These three little words are called articles. Okay, now A and the word A and N, they are called indefinite articles. They are called indefinite articles. The word A and N. You know why they are called indefinite articles? Now, let me tell you. A. A is called an indefinite article because when we do not point our finger towards a particular thing, then at that moment, or when we point our fingers towards general things, then at that moment we can say a. For example, if I'll say a chair, I'm not pointing out my finger towards a particular chair. It can be any chair. It can be big chair, a small chair. Okay, that is called a chair. Now, if I say that get me an egg, it can be any type of egg, whether it's a small piece of egg or big piece of egg, any kind of egg. If I'll say a chalk, I'm not saying a blue chalk or red chalk. I'm saying it's a piece of chalk. Get me a piece of chalk. So children, you should remember that when I'm not pointing out my finger towards a particular thing, then in that case we will use a or an, and that a or an is called an indefinite articles. Okay, now, and what is the is a definite article here. The is called a definite article in this case. Why? Because when we are pointing out our finger towards a general thing, towards a particular thing, then that in that case we will use the. For example, now if I'll say, get me the blue chair, then that there I will use the because I'm pointing out my finger towards a particular thing, that is the blue chair. Okay, so we use the when we are pointing out our finger towards a particular thing. The fat man. Okay, the tall boy standing near you is my brother, if I'll say. Okay, the fair boy in your class is a very good student. Okay, in this case we can use the. Okay, because we are pointing out our finger towards a particular thing. So it's called a definite article. Now, I'll tell you another thing. That is, a is used before a consonant. Now, children, you all know what is a consonant? Okay, there are five vowels A, E, I, O, U, and the leftovers are all consonant. Okay, so we use a before the consonant words, before the words beginning with the consonant sound, or that is called, in that case, we can use a. Another thing where the word begins with U sound or E. When the word begins with U or E, but then it is considered as to be, it sounds as the Y sound. In that case, we use a. For example, a uniform, because it sounds as Y. A uniform, a European, okay, a union, a useful thing. So in that case, we are using a because here E or U, no doubt it begins with the alphabet U or it begins with the alphabet E, but the sound is taken as Y. Y plus OO, it is called U. Y plus OO, it is called U. So when it's because the sound is taken as Y, and but then it begins with the vowel sound, it begins with the vowel, alphabet vowel, but the sound is considered as Y, then we use A. Now remember children, before the articles, before using the articles, you need to be very particular with the sounds. Sounds in the sense, you need to be very particular with the phonetic sound. Now, here you see a uniform. If I'm saying a uniform, my tongue doesn't touch it doesn't touches the upper palate. Now here you see I'm using A. Why? Because U and Y plus double O is called U. When my tongue doesn't touches the upper palate, in that case I can use a uniform. You can also do it. A European. A European, because your tongue will not touch the upper palate. In that case, in that sound, you can use a. Then a union. A union, because again the tongue doesn't touches the upper palate, plus your lips also doesn't touch each other. A useful, a useful. Here also it doesn't touch us. So when our tongue, you need to be very particular with the sound, with the phonetic sound. In that case, you can use the articles. Otherwise, it will be a very problem for you. It will be a problem for you, right? Now, so remember children, if it is considered as Y sound, Y plus double O, Y sound, then in that case we can use a, right? Now, a, now an is also used before a singular common noun. It is used before a singular common noun, but we can use the word an before the vowel sound, before the vowel, and with the particularly with the sound that begins with H and it is silent, that begins with H and it is silent. In that case, we can use an. An apple, an egg, an umbrella, it's okay. It begins with a vowel sound. A, E, I, O, U. Okay, an ink pot, an egg. These are all okay because it begins with a vowel sound. Now, H sound. Why H sound? Because H, when we say, when we are taking H, here H becomes silent and we consider the other parts as the main part, and here we add an to it. For example, if I'll say an R, here H is silent, an R here H is silent, but we are considering OUR as the main word, and here O is the vowel. Just before O we are using an, we are using the word an, right? Now an honest man, an honest man. Honest, here again H is a silent, and H is silent, and the rest of the words, that is honest, O here is again begins with a vowel, right? So here in this case we are again using an before honest because H is silent and it begins with the word O, right? Now, an honor, it is an honor for me. It is an honor. We do not say honor. It is an honor. Again, H here is silent and it begins with ONOUR, right? So here OH becomes silent and the rest of the words, it begins with the vowel sound. So we use an before it. Okay. Now, I guess I am clear. Now, next coming down to the. The is used. When are we using the? The is particularly used. I told you that when we point out our finger towards a particular thing or place or animal or person, any noun, particular noun. In that case, we use the. For example, suppose names of a river. Names of river. When we say the Gangas, the Brahmaputra, the Mahanadi, in that case, we use the because it has got a particular name. So we can say, we can use the before the names of particular river. Now, names of seas or oceans, the Bay of Bengal, okay, the Indian Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Arabian Sea. So here again, the names are different. Pacific Ocean, Arabian Sea, Indian Ocean, Bay of Bengal, they are all different. So in that case, we will use the. Then comes names of mountains. For example, the Himalayan ranges, the Alps. Okay, so these are all the Kanchenjunga. So these are all particular names of mountains. So in that case, we can again use the because it has got particular names. Okay. Now, names of some famous buildings or monuments. Say, suppose if I'll say the Taj Mahal, the Qutub Minar, the Char Minar, the Red Fort. Okay, so there are various kinds of monuments and famous buildings, and before that, those names we will use the. Okay, now names of holy books and or newspapers. For example, holy books is the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the Bible. Okay, these are the names of holy books or the Times of India, the Samaj, the Indian Express. So these are the names of a particular newspaper or holy books where we can use the words the before these names. Then names of people or nations. For example, we'll say the French, the Englishmen, okay, the Chinese. In this case, we will use the. Now, things that are of one kind, for example, the moon, the earth, the sky, the sun, the stars, they are all of one kind. So, in that case, we will use the. So, remember, children, a and the. They are very little words. They are the smallest words, but it can be used. We need to use it before we confirm with the sounds, that is the phonetic sounds. And where are we using this particular a and the? We need to be very careful. They are called definite and indefinite articles. So we need to be very careful before we use these words a and the. I guess I am clear with the articles. If you have any doubt, children, you can just write something, write your doubts in my comment section and I'll surely reply. Those who have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe Sharmila English class. And remember, when we are doing some new chapters, you should use the words, particularly you should use it in the sentences, in various kinds of sentences. Try to speak in English. It will be very useful for you. Remember, children, when you are speaking, you need to speak very slowly and properly so that you can use a fluent English. You can be very fluent in English. Don't be in a hurry and speak slowly and properly. Okay, use proper words and use proper articles when you are speaking. It's very necessary, children. Till then, see you. Goodbye. Thank you.